listening to the Purple Teens podcast. Inspire, nurture, and grow.
Hello, my name is Raymond, and I'd like to share my part of story to Purple Teens. Here it is. I'm the only child of my parents. My mom cherishes me a lot because I'm the only child, and also I don't lack anything because I have everything, and my parents are very rich and have so many connections. My dad is an engineer, my mom is a banker. So it all happened when I was in SS2 in secondary school. It was third term and we had a long holiday. My mom told me to spend the holiday with my aunt. I was happy because my aunt usually gives us the opportunity to do anything. The us being me and my cousins. When the day came, my aunt treated me nicely. Then after 2 weeks of staying with her, suddenly she started making sexual advances to me that I didn't want to do. For crying out loud, I can't do this, she's my aunt, until she had her way with me and it was painful but she enjoyed it. Since then, she usually do it until one day I was feeling very feverish and she took me to the doctor and the doctor said it's okay except we found out that he's impotent. I was shocked. I was like, how? When? Where? How did it happen? When we got home, she told me I must not tell my mom about it and she made another shocking confession saying she's the one that made me impotent. I was dumbstruck. I asked her why did she do it and she said a word that I still keep hearing. I didn't want to get pregnant for the meantime that we are still enjoying ourselves. I couldn't tell anyone about it all until I met a friend who introduced me to Purple Teens and I accepted the offer. Though I'm having it in mind to tell my mom about it because I have a little peace when I say it to the Purple Teens. Even though I still hate my aunt and I'm angry with myself, I'm about to let it go. No hatred in me now. Thank you, Purple Teens. Hello. Welcome to another enlightening episode of the Purple Teens podcast. My name is Sophia Ismail and I have here with me
Fatia Ismail.
Today we're going to be talking about one of the most sensitive issues in the community right now, which is sexual abuse of children. Sexual abuse of children is a deeply concerning and distressing issue with severe and lasting effects on victims. It can lead to physical, emotional and psychological trauma affecting a child's overall well-being and development. Discussion around this matter should be about prevention and rehabilitation.
Prevention strategies should focus on raising awareness, educating communities, and implementing effective policies. Schools, parents, and caregivers play key roles in teaching children about their rights, personal boundaries, and safe communication channels. Encouraging an open dialogue about these issues help create an environment where children feel comfortable reporting abuse.
In the last story, we heard the case of a boy who was sexually abused by his aunt, whom his mom would have deemed safe or responsible enough to take care of her kids as she dropped him off for the holiday. She wouldn't in eternity ever think that our sister could ever do something like that to her child. This case, the events that have happened to this boy would continue to haunt this boy for life until he seeks professional medical help that could help him get over the traumatic events that happened. So, what are the rehabilitative measures that we can use to help children that have been abused? There are several rehabilitation methods, but the ones that have been proven to be very, very effective includes therapy, counseling, and support group. Mental health professionals will provide specialized care to help the victims cope with the trauma, rebuild their self-esteem, and be able to develop healthy relationships as they grow up further in life. Community resources and social services also play a vital role in assisting the families affected by child sexual abuse. In most cases, when a child is abused in a family, the More often than not, they do not report to their parents because of the fear of what they will do to them after reporting. And when they report these cases to their parents would not take the appropriate actions because the people that are the perpetrators of this crime are family members and they don't want to destroy family ties. Fatia, what do you think about what I have just said about the issue in ground?
I feel like children should be able to confide in their parents. And I know children do not want to always tell their parents because they feel like their parents will always believe the family members over them because of the tight ties which they share. Even if the kids can't tell their parents what is going on, there should be a trusted adult whom they can tell and will deliver the message to their parents without any problem.
I absolutely agree with you. And I also think that parents should teach their children how to communicate and also teach them boundaries between them and other people. There should be certain areas of your body you should tell your children, no, when people touch you here, is wrong and you need to tell me immediately. When people speak to you in a certain way, it is wrong and you need to tell me. You should teach your children how to create boundaries between them and their friends, and even with an adult whom you trust. You never know who could be the perpetrator of this crime. Is most often the most trusted people around us, uncles, aunties, pastors, imams, and even those that you think cannot do such things to your children. But to prevent such, you need to take appropriate measures and teach your child what is right and what is wrong, what to accept and what not to accept. Silence can only perpetuate the pain. It's time to break free from the shackles of secrecy and let the survivors of child sexual abuse know that they are not alone. Rehabilitation plays a pivotal role in helping survivors reclaim their life. It includes creating a safe space for survivors to express themselves and work towards rebuilding their lives.
To break the cycle, we need to focus on prevention, share insights on preventive measures, and how communities can play a role, because that goes a long way. Educating children, parents, and communities is crucial. We must foster an environment where open communication is encouraged and signs of abuse are recognized early.
In the story that was released earlier, we see that not only did his aunt abuse him sexually, she also made him impotent. How she did that, we don't know. But now she has damaged a great part of the young boy's life by making him impotent. There is no reversal for that. I do not know how human beings that can be so cruel, especially towards your own blood. If you wanted to have sexual intimacy with someone so bad, you could have gone elsewhere, not damaging a teenager's life forever. Now the child harbors so much hate in his heart for you and he doesn't know how to express himself. I can only imagine the amount of pain that he has been going through while all this has been bottled up in his heart. Big ups to the Purple Teens team for making this an easy journey for survivors of child sexual abuse to be able to express themselves. One of the other major things that will hinder the victim's ability to get over such trauma is the society's reaction to such issues. When a person has undergone sexual abuse, most times the society deems the person to be damaged or broken, or the person carries some form of evil luck around them and they do not want to associate with the person, or they do not want their children to associate with the person, which is very wrong, which is why we also need to enlighten and create awareness to people in the community on child sexual abuse, how to cater for children who are sexually abused, how to help them grow, how to help them continue living their lives as normal as it can be without having to chip in the aspect of their life that they have been sexually abused, and not let it affect anything that they can do or they are doing. We can also combat this issue on a broader scale by improving the reporting mechanisms. Make it easy for children or people that have been abused to walk up to special stations or special offices built solely for reporting of special abuse cases, where they will not feel stigmatized to go there, where they will not feel bad, where they will not feel harbored, that they can always go to these areas and report if they are being sexually abused, or if anybody they know is being sexually abused. And we also need to create more laws that will hold the perpetrators of this disgusting act accountable, make them realize their mistake, and make them suffer the consequences of the action that they have taken. So we also need community resources and social services to also assist the families of the affected child. If we think about it deeply, the child is affected on a larger scale, but the parents of the child are also affected in a way. The mere thoughts that someone you know or anybody at all has taken advantage of your child in a way that is not fit for them would always give you the chills. Many people, you can't even imagine your child undergoing such horror by someone you sent them to. It almost feels like you used your hand to push them into the situation they were in. As an individual, not as a community now, as an individual, it starts from each and every one of us. We could do little to chip in to assist the children that are affected by these issues by providing a support group or a support center for people who have been sexually abused. Children that have been abused are most often snatched of their childhood. They will no longer be able to enjoy and experience what it means to truly be a child without having flashbacks of what has happened to them now. And we can all prevent that. Make sure that you, whenever your children go on holidays, they are supervised by you. You can never tell who would do all these things. So there are very, very many and vast effects and consequences that sexual abuse on children have on them. We do, there's no use crying over spilled milk. Once it has happened, it is measures in which we can use to help those children that we need to find, which I just spoke about, their therapy. And many people frown on the advice of therapy because they feel like it is attached to mental illnesses, which most people refer to as madness in the community that we find ourselves. But when more people embrace therapy by professionals who are experiencing it, life could be so much more easier for these children and they can go about their normal days. So by understanding the negative effects of child abuse and supporting the rehabilitative measure, we can contribute to breaking the cycle and make the world a safer world for us, for our children. It is never too late to make a difference. And I also know that there are certain local helplines that you can reach out or contact when you are in need of counseling services, and is often free of charge. So little by little, step by step, let us reduce the rate or completely eradicate the rate of child sexual abuse in our community. It is something that can be done, and it starts with you, it starts with me, it starts with each and every one of us. Once we chip in and try to make a difference, we will see very, very great changes in the society. Until next time, let's continue the conversation and work towards a safe future for all. I remain your host, Sophia Ismail, and
Fatia Ismail.
thank you for listening.
Goodbye and God bless.